Let's go, let's go, let's go, and welcome to the Fort Lee Regional Chamber of Commerce Presents Members at Work podcast. I'm your host, Fela, and we're recording at the One of One Productions studio in beautiful Fort Lee, New Jersey. And our member today is Rich Klein. Let me introduce you, Rich. Okay. Rich is an experienced, award-winning photographer. We're just on a roll with photographers right now. Award-winning photographer specializing in headshots for business and portraits for your home that could be printed and set in your home. Welcome to the show, Rich.
It's a pleasure to be here. It's been a pleasure getting to know you the last year or so.
I know, yeah. It's been great. Meeting all the members is always fun for me. Like that, it's not just whatever. I like, learning about all these different businesses and what you do, and I get to call on you guys to do whatever.
Yes.
So you're based in Fort Lee, New Jersey, correct? So what's your background and how did you come into Fort Lee?
So photography came a little bit later in life, but I moved to Fort Lee during the first week of COVID. With the intention of opening up a home studio. Literally March 2020. That was a great idea. But it turned out to be okay. I mean, we all got through COVID. Everybody had to deal with these challenges.
Yeah.
And now, of course, things are much better. And trying to get people in the studio for their portraits, the headshots, also do glamour. And one woman came to me who's a makeup artist. I wanted to do a pinup session. So she got dressed like, Marilyn Monroe in the 50s. So it's always fun. The idea is always have fun in these sessions. People at different stages of life have different needs for photos. And so life events and so forth.
Yeah, creativity with everyday life, basically, right? You get to put it out there. I mean, and who doesn't need a headshot for business, especially us being in a chamber.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you need updated, headshots all the time.
Yeah, I just put out a promo recently. I said, is 2023 the year that you update your profile picture? Because some of them are just with bad pictures or they're an iPhone picture. And what we try to do is bring out the best in everybody and bring out the authenticity of the personality. And that's the key to good portrait photography. And I try to achieve that every time.
Yeah. Perfect. So how did you get into the business? You said this wasn't your first career.
For most of my career, I've been a journalist and a public relations practitioner. Okay. But I had the good fortune, back in the 80s, I was a sports writer, high school sports writer, and I worked with some amazing photographers. And we actually won a national Best of Gannett Award as a team. And I know that the photography really helped. My writing was okay, but these guys really pushed it to another level.
Yeah.
And I certainly had some guidance from that. And then I became, in different jobs over the years, I was an editor of a newspaper. I was a one-person staff. You had to do the writing, the pictures, the advertising. So I got into taking a lot of pictures, even back in the 80s and 90s. And then later on, I decided, let's try this as a business.
Go full-time.
Yeah. I mean, I started...
You still write, though, right?
I do. Yeah, I still do a lot of writing, too. But I think the thing that got me back into the photography business per se is for the last 10 years or so, I've been doing a lot of landscape and cityscape photography. So, and that's what I became known for in different areas where I've lived. And I have some permanent exhibits on Long Island in upstate New York, where I grew up in Long Island. I lived in the Catskills, and I did a book called The Catskills of Sullivan County.
Yeah.
And from there, I got some other exhibits and so forth. But now, the last year or so, I moved into portrait photography, headshots.
Oh, all right, good. Well, we're happy to have you at the chamber. So, what made you decide to join the chamber?
Oh, great question. Well, like any other thing, and you know this from moving from South Carolina, we're outsiders. And you suddenly have to recreate your marketplace. You know, you may be known in one place. You and I just had lunch, and you were talking about, if you're an athlete down here, but then you go to the big city. So it's reinventing yourself in a way, but also the chamber's been great, and the people that run it, just great people, of course, as we all know, but also opening doors and helping you create opportunities for your business and networking events, and it's been great. And I've often been asked to photograph the events and for the chamber, which is a wonderful thing as well, just to get your name out. So
yeah,
and they're fun stuff and good people.
Definitely. So what are your future goals to push, Rich Klein photography?
Well, this is a great start. I know I mean, by the way, I came to your, I think one of your first openings.
Open houses.
Open house.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
February 24th.
Yes. If you haven't been to one of One-to-One Productions open house, you got to be there. It's a fun-filled night.
Please
it's a
come
gorgeous
out.
studio.
Thank you.
Great people, real professionals. And you learn about how to run audio. You and I have had separate conversations. I love for music and audio.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I picked Fearless brain on by buying some equipment.
Some stuff, yeah, definitely.
But so we all support each other. Obviously, that's a great thing. And the chamber's been helpful. And again, you have to just keep getting the word out. Like everybody knows today in business, you got to use social media. You got to do blogging. You got to do podcasts.
Yeah.
Because the attention span isn't what it used to be. There's just too many channels going on.
Yeah.
This is a great. I'm glad you're doing this. It's a credit to you guys here and the chamber that you're doing this podcast.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that we could be one-on-one with chambers, the social media is great, and you have to have that. But being able to, press the flesh, as we say,
Oh, absolutely,
and be able to do these one-on-ones, and I love getting to know more about every member that comes on this podcast. So. Yeah, it was great to have you on. Anything coming up that you would like to highlight?
Nothing in particular. I am going to Italy to do some more shooting in a few weeks. That's exciting.
Let's go. Can we get some landscape? We're going to get some good
I actually, at richkleinphotography.com is my website. I actually have a blog from
We'll
last
have that
week
in the summary,
Yeah.
too.
So I like shooting, going to whenever I have the opportunity around the country, overseas, to do some shooting as well, personal work. But I got real quickly, just to close up about the portrait work, one of the fun things I do, and I'd suggest this to anybody, if you're traveling, people always just shoot like pictures and, tourist sites, but the people are the best part of it, like street photography. So I have pictures on my site from Italy, just portraits of like a woman baking in a kitchen, a woman, a retail clothing store manager, and just say, can I take your picture? And it just makes a lot of fun, and you get some great stuff that way too, and you learn about photography.
Oh, I mean.
And you get ingrained in the culture too.
Come on, Italy is...
Yeah. So that's exciting.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of things, culture, the food, the fashion, the art, it's just,
So I always
it's
come back more inspired. It's coming up.
One of my favorite places to go. Yeah, when I was touring and doing that thing. Yeah, Italy is just amazing. The small towns to the big cities, and just everything is worth checking out. So, you're going to enjoy this. What parts of Italy?
I'm going to be in Parma this time. It's a city that my wife and I went. We spent a lot of time in Italy last summer in August, whole month of August. We really got to know the country.
Nice.
And we just focused on this one city that we like, and may live there part time one day. We'll see. We're working on it.
All right, fantastic.
Anyway, thank you.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Rich.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
We have I guess now we're going to get into what events we have coming up through the chamber. Actually, you're working it too.
Yes.
We're doing the 3-on-3 basketball tournament
I'm
at
photographing it.
Fort Lee High School.
Yes.
I'm going to be announcing with my very southern accent, and you're going to be taking
You're
pictures.
You're going to do your Marv Albert impression.
Yeah, I'm going to see what I got.
New York accent.
With the southern. We'll see what happens with that. So come and see me and Rich.
I'll be photographing and playing. I don't know how I'm going to do it at the same time, but Jeff thinks I could figure it out.
Fantastic.
So,
I'm glad you're going to be out there on the court. So
hopefully I won't get hurt too.
All right, yeah. And then, as we mentioned a little bit earlier, we have the 1-of-1 open house on February 24th. And we have the 3-on-3 basketball tournament, and that's going to be March 4th. That's on a Saturday, 2023, 9 a.m. until like
3 or 4.
So it's an all-day event. Come out, have some fun, or be a sponsor as well. So check that out. And check that out on fortleechamber.com. You can see all the information on that. Reach out to Jeff and the team over there. They're really killing it and keeping everything together. And I think that's pretty much it for us, Rich. All right.
Thanks so much for having me.
Good stuff. So, if you want to check us out, like I said, the 24th, we're having our open house here. Check us out at oneofoneproductions.com. And so from Rich and myself from 1-of-1 Production Studios, Let's go.